Hey y'all, it's Michelle again from Southern Inspirations. While the pot roast is in the oven, I decided to get out here and finally paint this nightstand that I bought several months ago. Many of you may already know that I love chalk painting. I have painted several pieces in my own home. I have painted pieces for other people. I just really enjoy it. And so much of what I like about it is the fact that you can take something that looks one way and it can look a completely different way. Like there's just a transformation. So I bought this nightstand literally several months ago, and it has been sitting in my garage, and I've just been waiting for the perfect day to do it because I like to paint outdoors in the garage and not in the house for obvious reasons. It can just make a mess. And I like to have a day when the humidity is low, because you don't want to be trying to paint outdoors when you've got the humidity going on, because you want your paint to dry well. I like a beautiful day when it's sunny out here and I can enjoy. I've got the garage door open and it's not too cold, it's not too hot. And so here I am. I'm about to get started on this nightstand. And y'all, I have so many people that I just run into who are afraid to try it. They're afraid they'll mess it up, and they ask me questions. So I'm just going to kind of walk through how I do it and the paint that I like to use and my process. Please feel free to ask me questions in the comment section. If I don't answer it during the video, I will get back to you and answer it. But again, I'm just going to kind of walk you through how I like to do it. This particular nightstand, and you can probably tell, has already been painted one time. It's black. No worries. That's the beauty of chalk paint. You don't have to prime it. You just paint right over it. So I'm going to show y'all a few things that I've already done to get it prepped, and then we're going to start painting. Here we go. First of all, I cleaned it. I mentioned that it's been sitting in my garage, and so it had spider webs on it, it had some dust on it, and so the first thing I wanted to do was get it nice and clean. And I used, this time, I don't necessarily use it every time, but this Maison Blanc is the paint brand that I use, and so this is their cleaner. And literally, I sprayed the entire piece and probably let it set for about a minute. And then I just wiped it. I just cleaned it and let it dry. But y'all, I have used Clorox wipes, or wet paper towel. I mean, anything just to get the dust and the yuckiness off of it. You don't have to use this. But I just got a good deal on this and decided to get me a bottle of it. So the point is, just make sure you start out with a nice, clean piece, right? All right, I'm gonna stand up. So the drawers, I went ahead and cleaned out as well, because they had just a bunch of dust and stuff in them. And if you'll see, it's the person who painted this before did not paint the handles. It's just that brass. I'm actually going to paint them, and y'all, that's just personal preference. I'm going to paint right over them, so I'm not even taking them off. If I were going to leave them like this, I would take them off, but nope. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the drawers out and just set them over to the side, okay? Okay, and I've got this sitting literally on a plastic tablecloth from Dollar Tree. As long as it doesn't, you can buy a nice canvas tarp if you want to. I've bought those. I've bought other tarps, but I had bought a bunch of these red plastic tablecloths back when I did the pop-up at our business back in December, and they were all left over, and before Brad threw them away, I said, nope, save those. I knew that I would use them. Just anything to throw down on the garage floor, obviously to keep from getting paint everywhere. So that's what this is. I've got my little work area here. I always like to have just a couple of extra rags on hand. Chalk paint does wash off fairly easy, so when you get it on your hands, it's really easy just to go, you know, wash up with soap and water. But I still just like to have one of these on, a couple of them on hand. Paper towels. I've got, for this nightstand, I'm probably going to use this 2-inch brush, but then I also have a 2.5 out here, just in case I decide I want one a little bit bigger, but I think the 2 is going to be plenty for doing the nightstand. And then, of course, my paint. And this is so crazy. Usually I have a, this one's been sitting in the cabinet for a while, and so I knew I needed to stir it, and normally I would take a paint stick, which I've got plenty of them, but I grabbed a plastic spoon. Hey, whatever works, right? This is actually called, again, it's the Maison Blanc. I don't know, I know there may be a glare coming in because I've got that garage door open. So if you can't see that, I apologize. But it's Maison Blanc, and the color is silver mink. It's just a really silvery but not too shiny, almost like a light gray. And yes, I'm gonna paint it right over this black, and it's gonna be fine. I mean, I know it's gonna take 2 coats for sure, and then I'll look at it and see if it needs a 3rd one. One thing that's really, really fun, y'all, about having a dark piece, if you like that distressed look like I do, when I get it all painted, well, actually, there's a couple different ways you can do this, but let me finish, I guess, saying that. You can sand down to get to some of the black. If you want some of the black to show through, or even if you want to go beyond the black and you want some of that original wood to show through, you can do that. Now, a couple different ways you can do that. You can take your wax, and we'll talk about wax when we get ready to do that, which won't be today. I'll get back on and do another live and talk about the wax and different things you can do with it. But one of the ways that you can kind of mark your spot, so to speak, with where you want your black to come through, if you know you're going to sand it, is go ahead and put wax in your corners, and that just kind of helps identify, so to speak, where when you get ready to sand, it'll just help that come through some. Real quick disclaimer, my battery is going low. I did not realize. So I'm gonna start painting real quick, and then I'm gonna jump off because I think I'm gonna lose y'all. And then I'll come back, either if I don't get back this afternoon, because y'all know I gotta do that roast, I'll jump back on one day this week. So, I mean, literally we're ready to start painting, okay? So I'm gonna take my 2-inch brush, and I've already stirred my paint real well, I'll mention that. Y'all, if you have any questions, or if I'm forgetting anything that you just want to know, please drop me a comment. Please ask a question. Okay, I got my paint. I got my paintbrush. I'm gonna stand up. Oh, and I'll tell you what. I'll adjust this just a little bit. Okay. And I got my painting pants on. I always inevitably get paint on me, and so be sure to wear something, obviously, that you don't mind paint getting on it. But y'all, chalk paint is wonderful, and one of the reasons I really like the Maison Blanc, it is so smooth. I mean, it just goes on so easy, okay? So you just get to going, you know? And here's the thing. Do not worry about trying to make it perfect, right? Invest in a good paintbrush. I don't buy the most expensive ones, but I don't buy the cheapest ones either. The thing with the cheap ones is a lot of times your bristles will come out. So you do, and that even after you use one so long, even if it's an expensive brush, at some point, all of them are gonna wear out. So, I mean, this one's got a few bristles like sticking out, but they're not coming out. I'm not worried about it. But y'all, I'll tell you what, how even easy that is. Let's just say a bristle does come out. You know what I do? I reach my finger there and pick up the bristle, and then I just paint right back over it. And as you'll see, I dip one time into my paint, and it's going pretty far. I know y'all can't see the top, you know, from that angle, but I am over halfway across the top, okay? Just long strokes, but again, don't worry about trying to be perfect, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and finish the top of this, and then I'm gonna come closer to the phone so I can see who's commented and if you have any questions. That, get off of there. Okay. So again, it goes on really easy. Great coverage. Real smooth. I love this color, y'all. It's just so pretty. I haven't decided where I'm going to put it yet. I originally bought it because I was going to put it in the guest bedroom. Hey, y'all, there's a bristle. All right, there we go. I got that one to the end and just pulled it off. I originally got this to put it in the guest bedroom. I have one nightstand in there, but I need one on the other side of the bed. But I spotted this one area in my formal living room on one side of the sofa that I think I might put it. So I'm not sure yet. I'll let y'all know. That's my sister. Angela, it is Maison Blanc. You might can't see it because of the glare, the light coming in from the garage, but Maison Blanc. Annie Sloan is a real popular brand, and it's good. I just prefer this one. I started out using this one, and I've just continued to use it. So I'm just going to go straight across here. And y'all, you know, I mentioned how you could put the wax where you want to distress. You can still go back and distress without the wax. Honestly, I just forgot to bring it out here, and so I'm just not worried about it. I'm just going to use sandpaper when I get ready to do that, and I'll show y'all how you can stop when you get to the black, or you can keep going if you want some of the black and the original to show through. So the person before, it looks like, was really meticulous and careful and did not get a bunch of paint like right here. It doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see that, right? Again, it doesn't have to be perfect starting out, because you know you're going to go back over it and do your second coat and then potentially a third coat. So come through here. See how long, I mean, this stuff just lasts, y'all. And I've got almost a half a can, just to kind of give y'all an idea of the size of the piece as far as how much paint I'm using. So, you know, I've dipped my brush a total of 3 times, and I've got my top covered, and, well, I didn't do that side. I need to go back and do that side, but, I mean, see how far it goes just from dipping it one time? I was thinking that maybe y'all hear a lot of road noise since I have a garage up in the middle of the neighborhood, but I hadn't heard that many cars pass by yet. It is such a pretty day here. I hope it's pretty where y'all are. Look at there how far that's still going. And the great news is about this, literally, y'all, by the time I make one whole round to get the whole thing painted, the top will be dry and I can start over like immediately. That's another good thing about chalk paint, is that it does dry fairly quickly. All right, I'm dipping it again, and I'm gonna get down. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go back over here to these sides that I forgot and get both of those sides real quick. I gotta stand back up. Oh goodness. Just right here. I'll get that real good. Okay. And then I'm gonna jump over here and do the other one. Can y'all tell already just how much that black's being covered up? Okay, come back around here. I just want to go ahead and get those sides to the top done. Hey, Hannah-Bug. Y'all got that pot roast in the oven for you. All right, I'm gonna do the very bottom. Okay. You know, some people like it like this. I don't know about y'all, but when I've been in the vintage stores, I'll see some pieces that's purposely like one coat on top of a dark color. And so that's the other beautiful thing about this. You paint it to your preference and to what you like and to your style, right? So all I've got left now are the two sides. So far the battery's holding out. If it does go dead, I'll jump back on later. I'll do a follow-up, and I apologize if I lose y'all. Let me see what you're saying, Angela. I want you to cook for me soon too. I told you, Angela, you have to come here. I'll cook for you, but you have to come here. Our schedules are crazy. I can't seem to get to Mississippi. Okay, here we go. See how easy this is? Oh, it's so pretty out here. Normally I have my music going. I like to put it on Pandora and hit shuffle and let it play all my favorite music. Contemporary Christian, country, the 80s, good rock and roll. I have different Pandora stations. Plus I just have music on my iPod. And so, but since I'm talking to y'all, can't play my music right now. I'm just going up and down to get this side painted. And I'm gonna try to get that other side done real quick before the battery goes dead. Hannah, I know you're probably wondering why in the world did I have to wait until you came home to get in the garage, right? How many weeks have I had to get out here and get this done? Let's see. I'm going to do the other side. I'm not going to go that way and put my booty in y'all's face. Let's see. And I'll probably get back out here this afternoon in a little while and do the second coat. And I might even get the drawers done today. So Angela, when are you going to paint you a piece of furniture? What are you wanting to paint? to go on this side. Okay. I'm not gonna paint the back. I mean, you certainly can. I've painted the back of pieces before. I'm just not gonna worry about this one. The last person didn't paint it, so I'm just gonna kind of leave it alone. I will grab one of the drawers and paint on it and show you literally how I'm gonna paint right over that handle. A plant stand. Paint Jadrian's bed. Oh, wow, that's a big undertaking, but it'll look good. All right, I've got this drawer. Remember, I cleaned it all real good and then I let it dry. So here we go. Just painting, and I'm painting right over that handle. And is it gonna stick? Yes, it is, but so what? This is a distressed piece. I don't care if it sticks. When I pull it up, it's gonna leave a little mark. That's fine with me. Again, if you prefer to keep the handles, if they're, you know, brass or wooden or whatever they are, then you just remove them and then put them back on after you get finished. I kind of enjoy this, the first coat, because you really, I mean, obviously you want to have some structure to it, but you don't have to be so meticulous. It's really just about getting a good first coat on there. This is good therapy for me too. It's a downtime for me. Like I said at the beginning, I enjoy it because it's taking something that's a lot of times old and just redoing it and making it look like something completely new. The scripture I think of a lot when I'm redoing furniture is about how God can take and make beauty from ashes. And a lot of times the pieces that I've done, they are old and maybe just not looking real good. And so chalk paint can just make it look completely different. And that's what God does to us. We are sinful and dirty and not worthy, but He makes us into something beautiful through His grace and His forgiveness and His love. And I think about that a lot when I'm chalk painting. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. This battery, I'm getting another warning. Hey, Tori. Thank you for joining, Tori. I talked to your friend the other day. I'm going blank now. Paige, yes. Paige and I connected the other day, so thank you again for that introduction. And in fact, I've got to call her back because we're going to get together and I hope partner on some things. So, Tori, you're one of the people I've painted something for before, so see, I'm still doing it. So here's my final drawer, and I'm hoping that I can get it done. I keep saying that, y'all. What a blessing that my battery's holding out. I really thought I would have lost y'all by now. Let's see if I can get this other drawer done before it goes out on me. Here we go. Just paint right over that black there. So Tori, do you still have those tables that I painted for you? And if you do, are they still turquoise? Or did you have them repainted? Or just curious. I haven't painted anything that color in a while. I usually, or here lately, just in the recent years, I've done more of the grays and the whites. I did a piece, I did a corner shelf that was red. You may remember, Tori, when we got in the new house here, when we got back to Maumelle permanently, I painted that red shelf Franciscan Gray, I think's the name of it. It's a little bit darker than this. This is called Silver Mink. Real pretty. But I've done a lot of the grays and whites the last few pieces that I painted. Haven't done a lot of like bold, bright colors. You know, I was into that turquoise for a while. Remember, I had that turquoise dresser in my foyer when we were here before. I put this one on a little bit thicker, I think just because I was running my mouth, maybe. Imagine that, right? Running my mouth a little bit more. I always run my mouth, right? I think I was running a little bit more. Did I get this side? Nope. Okay, there goes some paint. Let's see. Let me come over here. Oh yeah, I got that pretty good. I'm gonna flip it back, hit that real quick, and then I wanna grab it. I don't care if I get paint on my fingers, it's all right. Okay, so y'all, that's the first coat. I've got the whole nightstand painted, both doors painted. I'm going to just let it dry. And I mentioned earlier that by the time I got finished painting all of it and like got back around, it would be dry. And it is. I literally could probably, well, it's almost, it's a little tacky. I literally could go ahead and do a second coat, but I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna let it dry just a little while longer and go inside and smell that good pot roast. It's not time to check it, but I'm just gonna smell it, maybe drink some water, take a little break, and then I'm gonna come back later today and I'll go ahead and do my second coat. Probably what I will do is one day this week, after I've done my second coat, I'll do another video where I distress it and show you how to do that on the corners and then add my wax so that y'all can see how I do that. But again, if you have any questions about any of it, please let me know. Hey Brandy, hey Missa, thank y'all for joining. I'm gonna show you my paint one more time. There's lots of good paints out there. I know lots of people like the Annie Sloan, and there's another brand. Oh, I've not tried Magnolia yet. I would really love to try Joanna Gaines Magnolia paint. So if you do chalk paint and you've tried that, let me know how you like it. I started out using the Maison Blanc several years ago when I got into chalk painting, and I just like it so much that it's what I use. I will tell you, it's kind of expensive. It's $45 for, this is 32 ounces, so a quart. I have never used the Home Depot or Lowe's brand. I don't know. I mean, let me know if you've used it and what your experience with that has been. Again, this is so smooth. It just goes on so smooth and it goes so far. Y'all saw how far in the very beginning that I was able to make it last. And so it's just a good quality chalk paint. And then I use the same brand wax. And then I mentioned the cleaner that's also their brand as well. But I also told you that I use Clorox wipes sometimes to clean it. Just as long as you get it clean. It doesn't have to be, this brand cleaner. So that's it for my little chalk painting project for this afternoon. Thank you again for watching. Hey Lisa, good to see you here. Thank you again for watching Southern Inspirations and for supporting the storytelling and everything I'm doing. truly my heart is just to inspire you to go do what you love doing or what you want to do. If it's chalk painting, if it's cooking, if it's telling stories, whatever it is, I'm just here to inspire you to chase those dreams and live your passions. And I just want to give God the glory as I do it. So y'all have a wonderful Sunday afternoon, and I will see y'all again soon. Thanks, y'all.